This is insane, okay? Somehow, some way, in 2024 bingo, I did not have boba whitewashing drama on my 2024 bingo. It has happened, so let's just mark it in and let's go over this because this is wild. So do you guys know Shark Tank? If you guys don't know what Shark Tank is, it is an American TV show in which people with ideas for products, whatever, go on this show and they have investors. And investors will listen to your pitch and they'll decide whether they want to back you or not. You guys negotiate live, okay? A lot of big brands have popped up. Scrub Daddy was on Shark Tank. Bombas, the sock brand, was also from Shark Tank. I believe Glow Recipe was also on Shark Tank. I could be wrong. Wow, Love Pop's 3D greeting cards were also Shark Tank. There's been a lot of successful brands that have come out of it. So there is a Canadian version of Shark Tank called Dragon's Den. And there was a group of people that came on with the Boba brand that they named Boba, but they added an extra B, so B-O-B-B-A. Still apparently supposed to be pronounced Boba. And Simu Liu, who was one of the investors on the show, was not happy about it. Let us watch Sujia's take on this.
Talking about bubble tea, that trendy sugary drink you are queued up for and you are never quite sure about its content.
What do you mean you're not sure about its content? Who's not sure about its content? It's sugar, tea, milk, tapioca pearls. But it's always that way, isn't it? You can't trust the people of the ethnicity from which that food comes to actually make that food because, they're so deviant, right? Like agua fresca has to be turned into spa water because, otherwise it's dirty and it's unclean. You can't trust a Chinese restaurant to cook Chinese food because it's probably dog or cat. And thank God, had it not been for these two assholes, God knows what you'd be getting when you'd go out for boba. So this couple, I don't know if they're like married or just business partners or whatever, they're seeking $1 million from, this show in Canada, which I guess is the equivalent of Shark Tank here in the United States. And they want $1 million to invest in their boba company. And that's the whole premise of their company is like, you don't know what you're getting when you go out for boba, but you can trust us, but you can't trust the people from which this food came. It's just spa water and clear skin tacos and, cucumber salad all over again. And I have to go because I have to go coach a volleyball game. But there's so much about this video that I want to address. I can't do it all now. This could end up.
Yeah, this has a special place in my heart. If you guys don't know, I love boba. I get it every single day. I am depressed if I don't get my daily boba. I've been drinking boba frequently since I was at least like 11 or 12. I'm now 24. It's been at least 12 years. The first time I had boba was in China because I spent a quarter of my childhood in China. I had it at a Ding Tai Fung equivalent restaurant in China. It was super good. Blew my mind, right? Boba is originally not Chinese. It is Taiwanese. It is originally from Taiwan. But yeah, the first time I had boba, I was literally like 10. So I've drank it for 14 years. I know how to make boba. The whole you don't know what goes into it is preposterous to me because anybody with like 2 cents of critical thinking and any experience with boba probably will know what goes into it, okay? Obviously, depending on what chain you go to, what boba store, the way they make it is different, okay? You can do any tea you want. You can do oolong tea, green tea, black tea, red oolong, iron Buddha tea if you want to start getting fancy, okay? You brew tea and then you get milk. And then you pour it in with your tea and you mix it and then you sweeten it with sugar, or if you want to be fancy, you can use like brown sugar if you're making some brown sugar boba or whatever. But then brown sugar boba typically just uses stream. You just add milk and then you sweeten it with sugar and then you stir and then bam, then you have your tapioca balls. Okay, it's literally tapioca flour. And then you cook it in honey or brown sugar or both to make it sweeter so that it tastes good. And then you pour it into your drink. If you make a brown sugar boba, you make your tapioca balls, you cook it in boba water and a crap ton of brown sugar. It will kind of like, as you cook it, it will turn a little bit more viscous and you'll get this like brown sugar syrup from it basically. And then it's literally just brown sugar boba, the syrup from the boba, and then milk, straight whole milk into it. Brown sugar boba right there. So the whole, we don't know what goes into it is showing ignorance to me, because if you ask anybody who has drank a fair amount of boba or has worked in a boba shop, they could easily tell you what goes into the drink. And I'm gonna be real, like, do y'all even know what goes into your Starbucks that you guys are getting? Like, the mystery of Starbucks drinks is about the same mystery that boba has. You basically know the gist of what's gonna go into it. And some boba shops use the same sweetening flavor, the same syrup brand that Starbucks uses. Starbucks is its own problem, but I'm only using it as an example because it is one of the, if not the largest coffee chain in the US as of now. They have their problems. I'm just using it for the sake of an example.
Being like a, I don't know, 30-part series.
Yeah, Starbucks do be tasting like
this
unit
whole
busting.
premise, this whole idea, this narrative that you cannot trust.
You can customize your boba. You can ask for less sweetness, less ice, more ice, less balls, more balls. You can ask for different types of milk if you are lactose intolerant. You can also ask for oat milk, almond milk, non-dairy creamer, which is just coffee creamer. You have to pay for more balls, but yeah, you can ask for double the amount of balls. But you're gonna get a drink that's like half balls, half drink.
Ethnicities and provide for you their own foods because there's some deviant element to it because they can't be trusted to give you whatever it is you think you're getting, that you need people like this to come save you and give you a clean, trustworthy version of it.
Distinctly Asian in its identity and quote unquote making it better.
What are these? Are these their popping boba? Was regular tapioca balls like too much for you guys? So you guys have to deviate towards popping boba? I'm gonna put it this way, okay? I like popping boba, don't get me wrong. But popping boba is not like authentically Taiwanese. It came out later. So interesting. Popping boba is definitely way more westernized than regular boba, right? A lot of people, I've heard some racist remarks about it too. A lot of Westerners are very against drinking actual boba because they're afraid they're gonna choke and die on it or something like that. It's really not how that works. Unless you suck through the straw extremely aggressively, which in that case, it's your fault. You're not gonna die and choke to death from drinking boba. Just drink it like a regular drink and chew it like a regular squishy thing that you would eat, like candy. But popping boba is a lot more appealing to Westerners. Here we have the full video, tweeted out by user Sports with Con writing, I don't know what pisses me off more. What do you mean we don't know its contents? The way other dragons are basically defending or disrespecting a culture. The way there's no ode to the origin of boba on their can. Boba, they effing added another B.
Trendy sugary drink you are queued up for and you are never quite sure about its content.
Those days are over with.
What do you mean you're not sure about its contents? I drink a lot of boba. I know how to make boba. It is tea plus milk plus sugar equals milk tea. Tapioca is just tapioca flour in ball form. Bam. You cook it, you boil it in hot water, and then you add a ton of honey and you add a ton of brown sugar. And then now you get this really, really gloopy brown sugar syrup thing. And that's your boba. And it tastes really good. There's other ways if you want to be adventurous, you can do it. You can just brew your tea and then you can add condensed milk to it. If you cook it that way, you get a very Hong Kong milk tea style. Hong Kong milk tea is just tea plus condensed milk, basically. Other flavors, you know, like a strawberry matcha latte, you make strawberry puree, that will be the third of your drink. You use whole milk, that will be the next third of your drink. And then you mix matcha. And then that will be the final third of your drink. And then you put it together in a stack like that, and then you stir everything together. That is a strawberry matcha latte. It's not a, we don't know the ingredients. If you are ignorant, you don't know the ingredients. But anybody who has had like a fair amount of exposure to boba and milk tea will know how to make it.
Hang on. I'm quite sure about its content.
Yep, speak up, Simu. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of people have their own controversy with Simu, this, that, and the third. Whatever. You have your opinions, we have our opinions. I just want to look at this situation from the lens of this situation, okay? Let's just look at it from this situation. What he's stating here in this moment on Dragon's Den, I completely agree. Other stuff he said, that's a whole other conversation.
We have transformed this beloved beverage into a convenient and healthier, ready-to-drink experience.
By the way, this drives me fucking insane. I hate how people keep trying to make boba healthy. This is my hot take. I do like the idea of a healthy boba. I drink boba every single day. I'm also not trying to die at 50 years old from high blood pressure and high blood sugar. So, you know, I take means to try to be healthy. Like, you know, I get 50% sugar, trying to get like regulars instead of larges, you know, this, that, and the third. So I totally get the sentiment of trying to make healthy boba. There is one thing to make healthy boba, and there's another to completely strip the origins of a drink and then run away with it. And it's typically almost never done by actual Asian people, by the way. I want to point this out, okay? I read this one abomination of an article one day. I need to go look for it again. But the article was written by a white person about how to have healthy boba. And the article said, and the reason I mentioned they're white is it will come into handy. Boba is amazing. It's a great drink. It's becoming really popular, but it's unhealthy and it's high in calories. So here's how we can make it healthy. Instead of getting milk tea, just drink straight oat milk. It is healthier for you. If I wanted oat milk, like I would go to Erewhon or something, buy oat milk and drink it straight out of the can. And then instead of having the tapioca balls, which can cause cancer and like coagulate in your stomach, which is in my opinion, just fear mongering about boba. I've drank this thing for 14 years. Okay. I do not have cancer and nothing has coagulated into my stomach. Just put peas in it instead. It's just as round and it has a similar texture. I wish I could find this article for you. I'm not even kidding because it traumatized me when I'm reading it. I am not drinking oat milk with peas to get boba. Like in life, sometimes if you you want to get the full experience, it will be unhealthy and it's fine in moderation and we're good. I like French fries, okay? I like fries. I'm not going to eat like steamed potato strips that have like a slight inkling taste of French fries to starve my cravings, okay? I will just get McDonald's French fries, okay? Taste great, fried in God knows what. It's okay. Sometimes in life, it's okay to be a little unhealthy to enjoy things that you like. I would rather drink 150% sugar in a 32-ounce drink and just call it a day than do that. Like, I would be fine with my lifespan shortening about a year for doing this than drinking oat milk with peas every single day, wistfully wishing that this was actually boba. And here's my logic too. I would much rather fully indulge in things when I'm indulging in it than get like a half-assed version of it. You know what I mean? And then, I don't know, I'll just go and like eat a salad or something for dinner. So let's continue watching this, guys.
Since day one, we're disturbing this $4 billion market with 3 simple ingredients: high-quality tea, fruit juice, and our famous boba.
That's what goes into boba, no? If you make a fruit tea, you put fruit syrup in it, and then balls. You're out here being like, we have this like better thing with only 3 simple ingredients, but your ingredients are like the same ingredients. They do a canned boba, right? I understand why canned drinks use popping boba, because tapioca flour, tapioca pearls do not hold well. So you have to make them fresh. You can't just like make them, put them in a can. It will not preserve. It will go hard in the center. It will slough off on the sides. Making really, really good boba, like tapioca pearls, is a really high skill to do, and it's almost impossible to make it the traditional way and preserve it. It's not, you can't do it. You need to find a roundabout. So things like jellies, lychee jelly, coconut jelly, popping boba, those hold a lot better because there's more preservatives in it. So it won't disintegrate when you leave it soaking in liquid for a very long time, which is the issue that tapioca pearls have. That's just a little bit of a backstory to it. I really don't know what is special about what they're offering. And the thing is, there's already a lot of Asian-owned pre-made bobas already. What makes yours different? There's so many pre-made bobas. You know, Japan has so many. There's a lot in the US too. You can find them in China, like boba in containers and cans, whatever, that are in grocery stores that you can buy. So what makes yours special? Because there's so many already and all of them are made by Asian creators. I'm not trying to say that you need to be Asian to innovate on boba, but the thing is, you need to not forget about the cultural roots that you are borrowing from.
Here, we just launched 2 crazy innovations, including the first alcoholic ready-to-drink bubble tea.
I've had alcoholic boba. It tastes absolutely freaking disgusting. There's some things that should not be made alcoholic, and boba is one of them, in my opinion, because it is just gross because it tastes like alcohol, but now there's like things in it. There's just balls in it. And then the balls soak up the alcohol taste too. So it's not like gonna be, you know, drink a little margarita or whatever, and then you get a little boba at the bottom. The balls also taste alcoholic too. It's not good. I can't imagine it tastes good. They're not the first people to make alcoholic boba. They may potentially be the first to make it ready to drink. That I cannot verify. But it is a wild claim though. Yeah, tequila the side of balls, you know? We're also pointing out the irony in the comment section because they're like, we have healthier boba and alcoholic boba. You get one or the other. You're either healthy or you're alcoholic. You cannot have both. You may argue, oh, but like some red wine is good for you. Alcoholic boba is not gonna be good for you. Like, come on, bro. It's not gonna be healthy. Who are you fooling? I would like healthy boba that also tastes good, but I really don't like that a lot of Westerners keep trying to make healthy versions of cultural food. Just stop it, please. Genuinely, please stop it. I don't know, with Westerners and their desire to take cultural food and make it as bland and as unappetizing as possible. Oh my God, right? So on one hand, I get the innovation, but on the other hand, please execute it with a lot of grace and a lot of respect that they do not do it with.
Alcoholic ready-to-drink bubble tea in the
Wait,
world.
let me back this up.
Alcoholic ready-to-drink bubble tea in the world. But also, or grab-and-go popping boba.
Grab and go popping boba is again not new.
Boba comes in various flavors like watermelon.
So that's nothing new. These are the same flavors I see in like legitimately every boba shop during summertime when they always have their watermelon collab. Every boba shop, I swear to God, that I like going to always has a watermelon summer limited drink. One of my favorite boba shops right now is a shop called Odd One Out, and they have some watermelon drinks. Swear to God, guys, it is the best watermelon drink you will ever have in your entire life. Disgustingly good.
It retails for about $3.99 at major grocers in Canada, the US, and Europe.
I gotta give it to them, that is on the cheaper side, but it's in a can, bro.
Do you get the popping bobas though?
The boba's popping.
Raspberry and lime. Not bad.
This is the popping boba. We sell it in convenience store to add to any drinks.
This is my first time having bubble tea.
I gotta say, like, maybe I'm a bit of a hater, but some things do not need boba in them. I really like boba, don't get me wrong, okay? But you don't need to put it in your Sprite, your Coke, your alcohol, your, I don't know, morning tea, right? I like drinking tea too, but straight tea. Like, not everything needs popping boba in it. Yeah, water with balls. I mean, that's just me personally. This is coming from somebody who loves boba. I get it every single day and with the balls in it. But I digress. Maybe I'm just coming off as a big hater. Let me know. As somebody who loves boba, I love boba. It like hurts my soul to see this, bro.
You're missing out in life, man.
I've never seen it like in this.
I've had boba like this many a times, in a can, in a container, in a cup like this from the shelves. Asia has a ton of these. So this is not new or innovative because it's already existed in Asia. I am assuming that our Dragon's Den, the Boba creators or whatever, did not do any market research.
I've seen
People
it
have tried to.
like in this. I've seen.
Missing out in life, man.
I've never seen it like in this. I've seen it.
People have tried to
I'm not surprised you haven't seen it.
bottle it up. It's very difficult to maintain the flavor.
Did you like this?
I thought it was fine, but I, you know, I'm concerned about this idea of disrupting or disturbing bubble tea because it's something that's
Why?
very
There can
near.
be new takes on things.
No, I'm going to refrain from commenting anymore. There can be new takes on things, and the new take can also be very insensitive.
Things.
Sure,
Nothing,
but
there can
near.
be new takes on things.
Sure,
Nothing
but I'm
ev-
looking
not-
at
not
I'm
everything has
looking
to
at
be
these two guys.
traditional.
No, but then there's also an issue of cultural appropriation. There's an issue of taking something that's very distinctly Asian in its identity and quote unquote making it better, which I have an issue with. But I want to hear the pitch before I formulate an opinion. And
Boy,
so
that's
I'm gonna do
one
that.
way to start.
I like how respectful he is.
Good way to start. A little heavy there.
Why are they all like trying to dismiss him? I don't like the rest of them. I don't like the rest of the people on the panel. I don't know who the fuck they are. I only know who Simu Liu is. I really don't like how dismissive they are about his cultural concerns of him being like, hey, this feels like it could be bad or insensitive, but I'm willing to hear you guys out. He's being very respectful while still voicing his slight concern for it, and they're all being so dismissive. I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody else on the panel is Asian. I just wish they gave a little bit more respect.
One way to start.
Yeah, that's one way to start. A little heavy there.
Out of the other three people on the panel, Manjit is also Asian. She is Indian. But besides that, the other two people are not. Whether you are Asian, whether you're not Asian, etc. I think a little bit of benefit of doubt, cultural sensitivity could go a long way, you know? I mean, Simu Liu has valid concerns here. Definitely very, very valid concerns. And they're all so dismissive of him.
But it's not an ethnical product anymore. Not with the popping bobas.
No way they said it's not an ethnic product anymore. He has an accent. I'm assuming English is not his first language. I am hoping, benefit of doubt, it is just a bad word substitution choice. But no way did they say, hey, we know boba is like Taiwanese, right? But we're trying to not make it ethnic. That's fucked up.
It's not an ethnical product anymore. Not with the popping bobas. So we took the version, the Asian version, and we made it with the fruit, with juice.
The popping boba is new. I can't say I've had that.
Girl, just because you haven't had that doesn't mean it has not been around for like freaking forever. The first time I've ever had popping boba, I probably was like 12 or 13. I'm now 24. That was in 2013. I feel like in situations, it's good to sit down and be like, hey, I don't know enough about this situation, so let me pass the mic on to somebody who may know more, like Simu. That's like me being like, oh my god, birria tacos, that's new. I can't say I've ever heard of that before just because I've never had that because I'm Chinese. I've had birria tacos. I fucking love them. But I'm just using that as an example, right? That it just sounds asinine to me. No way the Boba's guys were like, yeah, we made it not ethnic. So we took the Asian version and like made it really white. TLDR of what he said. Did nobody review his pitch? Genuinely, did everybody review his pitch and then we're like, yeah, that's fine, and let it slide? Like, I am sure his team must have reviewed that pitch multiple times before going on TV for Dragon's Den. But nobody thought this was wrong. This makes me distrust that company entirely because nobody, at least in the higher ups of that company, has any cultural sensitivity.
It definitely is an experience when you're having it. And do you manufacture this yourself?
No, so we have 3 partners, but they are exclusive partners. So they only make my bubble tea.
Where?
in Quebec.
If Simu was not there, nobody would have said anything also. Yes, I completely agree. He is the only one voicing his concerns and everybody is like shooting it down. Everybody is literally like shooting down his concerns over and over again, being like, yeah, we could be adventurous, we could try out new things, not completely butcher a culture, please, thanks.
Hello, Dragon. My name is Jessica.
And my name is Sebastian.
We are here today from Quebec City seeking $1 million in exchange of 18% of our business, Boba.
Boba.
Dragon, you have probably heard about bubble tea.
Yes.
What made you guys get into this business?
I was like looking at the data about bubble tea, and the popping boba was just rising everywhere in the world. So I was like, I need to come out with something. It was a crazy success since day one.
Okay, so this just tells me that he's only in it for the hype. Like, he's like, oh, this is really popular, so let me jump in. This is not telling me, hey, I myself really like boba, and I just wanted to make a product that I feel like could fit a niche that is missing in the market. At the end of the day, you could be like, oh, you know, maybe he meant to say this, maybe he meant to say that. At the end of the day, we can only judge him for the words that come out of his mouth, and the words coming out of their mouths is not great.
I'm really curious what your sales are today.
So we just launched this company 2 years ago. The first real year, we did $2.2 million.
Yeah.
With a profit of $300,000.
Yeah.
And this year, we just ended the year in February. We did $4.6 million with a profit of $600,000.
Wow.
And we are on our way to do $7 million this year.
Have it your way. 1, traditional. Use a straw and own your flavor experience. Yeah, stick a straw in there and drink the balls. That's how you're supposed to do it. Shake well. Let it float. Wait. Hold on. Poppy boba doesn't float. Or is it let it flow? Maybe I'm misreading that. Yeah, it's not supposed to float. That's wrong.
Is your biggest challenge money for inventory?
Our challenge is trying to figure out how we can do 25 million really fast because
I'm American. We don't want you. I can speak for us Americans. We do not want you. Stay in Canada. I don't even know if the Canadians want you. I'm gonna be real.
our Barcelona are asking for $600,000 for 2,000 store.
So you're building a brand, and this is, I'll see if I can articulate this, but the name Boba, the industry is Boba. Is that a good thing being called Boba or a bad thing?
Well, they added a B.
So right now we're rebranding, we're working with lawyer and everything, but at the end of the day, maybe we're gonna need to add a little word after the boba.
Clearly, you're doing very well. What respect is being paid to very Asian drink that has blown up around the world? And is it in your teas? Is it in your product development? Who is on your staff? Who's on your cap table that is...
Simu asking the real questions here.
It's a good question because our best partner is in Taiwan, actually. So they make all the recipe, all the boba. We work really hard. We travel to Taiwan. We speak with them. They are part of our team. It's really important for us. So that's the best part. That's the cultural part of our product.
Here's the thing though, like you can take a product, make it in the country it's from, and still do a massive disservice to it with just what you're doing to it. Being like, hey, we took the ethnic part of the product and got rid of the Asian stuff. Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of hypocrisy going on here. Make it make sense.
The little popping boba like that, we have a deal with Couche-Tard in Quebec. So we have 900 stores with that, and they bought like 300,000 of this to put in the slush. Crazy success.
Oh yeah, we see so many consumer packaged goods products. This is like mega.
I've never seen anything like it.
A lot of people who have been to East Asian countries, like Japan, China, Korea, if you have been to a lot of Asian countries, especially China, Japan, you would have seen this. How they're like, I've never seen anything like this before. Like, I am not a business individual. I do not own $1 million company. I do not have that level of business acumen. But I, as a regular consumer of boba, has seen this product time and time and time again. Oat milk and peas probably would be sold just as enthusiastically to these investors.
I'm sure we can sell it to Pepsi for $1 billion in like 5 years. We are convinced to that.
I can go first.
I am studying your can, and I am looking for anything that tells me where boba came from. And where boba came from is Taiwan. You know, I started this venture company for a lot of reasons, but really primarily to uplift minority entrepreneurs. And not only do I feel like this is not happening here, but that I would be uplifting a business that is profiting off of something that feels so dear to my cultural heritage. I want to be a part of bringing boba to the masses, but not like this. So for that reason, I'm out.
Thanks.
Respect that.
Respect that.
I like how they said respect that, but I feel like they just completely ignored what he said. But maybe they're like in shock, you know, because he spoke a lot of truth here. I mean, at the end of the day, you can have your own opinions about Simu Liu, about things he said. I am only trying to look at this from the lens of what he said in this moment on this show. And he spoke a lot of facts here.
I'm not sure I'm the right partner for you, so for that reason, I'm gonna be out.
I like it.
No, girl, no.
I want to help you build the distribution out in the US. That does take money, and it takes a team. And that's what you really need to build here.
Remember earlier I was telling y'all the story about that random article I read about oat milk and peas? I'm sure if somebody came up here and was like, here's healthy boba and you can have oat milk and it's just oat milk and peas, I'm pretty sure she would be sold on that too.
I will offer you $1 million for 20% of the business.
I would offer you $1 million for 18%. I think your valuation is incredible.
No, why are you in on this too?
I have no issue with it. I believe I can help you. That's my offer.
In your business, you do not need distribution. You're gonna
Why
need
there's so many people that are down for this?
marketing, and you are going to need help financing this massive amount of inventory that you have.
Financing the distribution.
Anything else?
I just don't like how smug she looks. I'm sorry. I want to be like a girl's girl, like, you know, supporting woman, but she's out here like chugging this thing like it's the best thing she's ever had and smirking the whole time. I just can't. It's just rubbing me the wrong way, especially because Simu was validly voicing his concerns and she was just blowing over it, being like, oh my god, it's so yummy, haha.
If you can do that, I genuinely believe there's a $100 million company in this space.
Who's buying this? Yeah. No, we'll cover that. We'll cover that, Ellie. Where's the $1 million? I'm genuinely questioning because you're not going to hit any of the Asian market, which is like the main consumers of boba.
But I do think we need to absolutely find someone that can really represent this brand, and I can help you find that person that stays very true to what the brand is.
Is she like subtly shading them, being like, yeah, you guys don't really represent the brand well. We'll find somebody else to be the face of it. That's funny as fuck.
Does Arlene want a partner?
If you wanted to co-invest together, I would do that with you.
Yeah. We would do $1 million for 18%.
Ooh, I'll do $1 million for 18% on my own. I bring a lot of value.
I just don't like how cocky she is. And here's the thing. I'm really trying to walk a fine line on this because I hate the notion. A lot of people see a woman who's confident and will call her cocky, obnoxious, annoying. But in this case, like the way she's just smirking and chugging that drink, being like, hee hee, you know, after talking over Simu, I don't like that. Again, you can have your opinions about Simu, but she spoke over what he said. And his values, I think, in this moment, I really resonate with.
I think we will go with Manjit because of the distribution with the alcoholic and everything.
I'm
Thank you
very
so much.
excited. Thank you.
Merci.
Makes me sad how successful this business is. It makes me sad that people are, you know, they're
Why?
drinking boba with the raccoon with the sun. And
It doesn't.
there's-
Where the fuck is the raccoon? What does that have to do with boba? I love raccoons. They're like my favorite animal. Don't get me wrong. There is not a single tribute to Asia, Taiwan in this at all. The origin of boba.
Makes me sad that people are, you know, they're
Why?
drinking boba with the raccoon with the sun.
It doesn't mean that they don't have the opportunity to change and do that.
That's true, but
It
there has to
doesn't
be a
mean-
willingness, and I have to be able to invest in these founders knowing that,
Right,
that
but they
change is
didn't.
possible.
They didn't say no. The collaboration that they've had to this point is with their supplier in Taiwan, and if nobody else has told them that before, you can't put that all on them.
No way she's being so dismissive. We'll watch Manjit's response. Let me see. Which one came first? I think Simu's clarification came before her shitty apology. I know she has a shitty apology. I want to just read some of the comments though, because they're funny. Look at the comments. We have Ash writing, the fact that it looked like Manjit had an issue with what Simu was saying, truly disappointing. Isabel writes, ugh, I felt Simu's frustration in seeing colonization of boba in real time over this, which is really true. Pink Blue Bottle says, the fact that she kept on interrupting him to dismiss his point, I do not like that. A says, Simu is 100% correct. Reminds me of the girl who pitched chocolate hummus on Shark Tank. That's a no from me, dog. Simu put up a clarification. So let's watch his clarification and then let's watch the two apology.
Hey everyone, it's Simu. I just thought I'd make a video here in response to this crazy social media moment that I found myself in as it pertains to Dragon's Den and the boba of it all. First and foremost, I want to say I think we hit on a really important discussion. Appropriation, what it is, you know, how is something exploitative rather than kind of paying homage and and respect. When is that line crossed? In that conversation, by the way, I've experienced a massive wave of positivity and support from people from every community, and I just think that's really incredible, and I really appreciate that. On the flip side, I've been made aware that the business owners have received a lot of death threats and harassment and otherwise just kind of in dogpiling, and I just want to say that full stop, it's never okay, hey, to bully and harass online. And what I mean by that, I don't mean, I don't mean that, the business owners don't deserve valid criticism, and I don't believe that you should not be vocal about your disagreement, but, I think we can all agree, common sense, there's a line. There's a line that you don't and shouldn't cross. There's a line that you wouldn't cross in person.
Yeah, there's a difference between constructive criticism and straight up bullying, and a lot of people on the internet have absolutely no idea where that line is, like whatsoever.
I just don't want the legacy of this segment to be pitchforks and, fearing for their safety. I think we're starting to lose the plot of I think what ultimately the positive energy of this is, which is let's educate people, let's make the world a better place, let's make people aware that, certain things aren't okay from a cultural perspective. When people's personal safety are being questioned, that's when I think I have to take issue, and I say this as someone who's quite honestly been on the other side. Rumors have spiraled out of control. Social media's kind of done its toxic thing, and I've overnight felt, on the other side of an internet dogpile, and it's one of the worst things that you can go through, and it causes undue mental stress and trauma, and in the case of these folks, they're fearing for their physical safety. So I just want to say this: the entrepreneurs of this business came on Dragon's Den to pitch a business in good faith. There were a lot of things with the pitch that I took issue with and I disagreed with, and as a result, I pulled out as a potential investor. But that doesn't mean that I believe that they deserve harassment.
I'd pull out too.
And I think a lot of grace should be afforded to them because they're French Canadian. I think their exposure to these types of cultural conversations was limited.
Also, yeah, from my understanding, look, I'm not Canadian. I have a lot of Canadian friends. From my understanding, the Quebec area of Canada is very, very homogeneously French. And they don't have that many Asian people there, from my understanding. Because Canada is very Asian, but I think the Quebec side of Canada tends to be on their own, kind of. So maybe they literally are under a rock. That's my guess. Any Canadians, feel free to clarify.
And I also feel like English was not their first language, and when you have
That's what I
cameras
said.
pointed at you and you're put on the spot and you have to answer these questions that I don't feel like they were prepared to answer, I think you're going to say a couple of things that are not perfect.
That being said, though, there's no way you didn't practice it. I don't think that the investors of Dragon Den asked really preposterous questions. I don't think they were asking questions out of the blue that you didn't really see, besides Simu's, pressure that he put on them. For you to just, be put on the spot, and then the first thing you say is, I got rid of the ethnic part and made it less Asian, right? On one hand, you can believe that potentially this is due to a language barrier. On the other hand, though, it could just be because that is actually genuinely how you approached it. I don't think that Boba went on this show with bad intent either. It doesn't seem like they were ill-intentioned. They just seem extremely, extremely ignorant.
To a degree, yes, it's 2024. We expect that people do their part and educate themselves. But at the end of the day, too, I try to live my life, my real life, and those and the people around me. I give grace and I ask for a lot of grace. I'm not a perfect human, but neither are any of the people in my life. And I just feel like we had a little bit more of that energy. I wish that social media could be a bit more of a habitable place where we could actually voice respectful disagreement with one another, where you could respond to people as if we were looking each other in the eye and saying, okay, I hear what you're saying. I have to, this is my problem with it. This is my issue. And that we could have someone on the other end saying, I hear you. Thank you for saying that. We don't, but I appreciate that we had this.
I think one other thing too, I do want to point out, I don't think it's necessarily wrong to not have a lot of personal ties to a product, but recognize this product is doing well in specific markets and try to capitalize on it. That's just a business perspective. You recognize that things do well and therefore you want to capitalize and make profit. You need to put a level of grace and care if you were to do that. I mentioned earlier that one of my favorite boba shops is a shop called Odd One Out, right? It is a boba shop in LA, and the boba shop was created by two kind of techie startup type guys, and they didn't necessarily have a great interest in boba as people, but they saw that boba was popular and they wanted to enter the market. But they did a lot of research and care when it comes to entering the market so that it did feel like they did research and that they did it from a place of respect, you know? They went to Taiwan, they found Taiwan tea masters because it's actually like a thing. They studied under the tea masters, they researched drink flavors, they sourced tea directly from Taiwanese farmers in Taiwan, then hired like 10 mixologists, like bartenders, to customize and make whatever wild boba drink they can. The drinks the mixologists created, taste tested it, and then reworked them to a way that could be mass produced and fit boba much better. And it took them 3 years to launch their boba store because they spent that long making sure they got it right. That shows a level of care and diligence. I like boba shops that do very heavy on the tea. So the tea flavor is very strong. The profile is very strong in the drinks. So I like Yifeng too for that reason.
I also want to say that the show has been kind of catching some strays. Some of my fellow dragons have been catching some strays, and you know, kind of along the same vein of what I was saying before, we have such a short time to formulate our responses when we're filming these segments. Oftentimes, you're seeing a lot of knee-jerk reactions and micro expressions that happen faster than the blink of an eye, and then we can't take them back because the camera's rolling. I again found myself on the other side of that, of an unfavorable edit, but I can tell you for a fact that the show, the producers, the crew were so supportive of what I had to say. And in terms of my fellow dragons, you know, regardless of what they said or what, you know, what did or did not do while the camera was rolling, in the break room, everyone was all ears. Everyone was like, I want to hear more about what your perspective is. Let's you know, have a conversation. And
that's really sweet.
Yeah, I really wish that that had been filmed, you know, but that isn't the reality. And so, of course, the segment is what everyone has to go off of. You know, let's critique each other. Let's critique this idea of cultural appropriation. Let's talk about it. But, you know, what we're not going to do is threaten people's physical safety and make feel unsafe. And
I like how Simu said this.
Trauma that, quite honestly, they don't deserve.
Yeah, I like how you said that. His video would probably help at least a fair amount. But a lot of people in the comment space are saying you do not need to apologize. The other judges are the ones who should be apologizing. You are in the right, Simu, etc. But I don't think Simu here necessarily apologized. I just think he made this video to clear the air and talk a little bit more about the situation. Because there's 2 apologies issued. Manjit, the investor, apologized. Damn, she got ratioed to hell. This is really funny. On her latest post, the apology, she got 1,000 likes and 2.5k comments.
Hi everyone, Dragon Manjit here. Last week's episode had a pitch from entrepreneurs about boba tea that has sparked a big conversation. After more reflection, due diligence, and listening to many of your
Where is she
opinions,
looking? Is
I
she
will
reading
not
off a script?
be investing in boba tea. Having said that, I had to turn off commenting on my platforms because it is never okay to send hate and death threats to the entrepreneurs. I believe wholeheartedly our cultures are meant to be shared.
Wait, she's like...
including food, drink, clothing, dance, languages, and weddings. Those of us like Simu and I who have platforms to do so always try to use these platforms to educate and enjoy and explore all cultures. It is cha or chai, depending on where you're from, not chai tea. It is naan, not naan bread. Sharing cultures increases understandings and brings peace on earth, something our planet could use. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Together we are better, and I am thankful for that.
Trying to make it look like you aren't reading off a script, impossible challenge. Like, why does it look like this is her first take? Please don't send hate. I'm just laughing because this is funny. Sending hate to her or anybody else, not okay. But I'm just saying, she's out here like, I am sorry for investing in Boba tea. It's so obvious in the ways her eyes are tracking. Like, why does it actually sound like it was her first time ever reading that script? I'm freaking dead. It's literally so robotic. And I love how she was like, it's cha or chai, depending on where you're from, but not chai tea. It's naan, not naan bread. I don't know. Like, did you really know that? You know what I mean? Because if you knew that, then you would also realize that the boba stuff was not great from the get-go, from the beginning. Yeah, her PR team definitely went overdrive, that's for sure. I also think, like, why does she seem so awkward? I don't know, right? She's like a business woman, not a content creator. Looks like somebody held her to gunpoint and was like, you are filming this apology, whether you like it or not. What she said in the video is literally verbatim what the caption of this is. I believe wholeheartedly our cultures are meant to be shared. Like, I completely understand. Like, I have nothing against people who want to learn and explore Asian culture, Chinese culture. I love and respect that. Just do it with respect. And I feel like this apology kind of missed that because it seems like she's like overlooking it, right? Being like, I believe our cultures are meant to be shared, but like, boba is not your culture though. I'm not trying to be mean when I say that, but it's not. It is my culture, but not even necessarily because I'm Chinese. I'm not Taiwanese, right? Boba is from Taiwan, but boba is very dominant in East Asia in general, right? It's very prevalent in China and Korea as well. To a lesser extent, it's still prevalent in Japan, but it's very prevalent in China, like very, very prevalent. China is always innovating on different boba stuff alongside Taiwan and stuff. So I do view it as part of my culture because infiltrated so early. Like boba has been in China since the 2010s, like even earlier than that. Korea's boba is the most authentic. I've been to Korea. Their boba is not good. I have to say it. I'm sorry. It's not that great. I don't know why, but let's read some of the comments. Here we have, it's just Moni writing, you didn't address the issue at all. The problem isn't that people of other cultures can't enjoy boba. Many people of different cultures in the US enjoy boba tea. The issue is that you are blatantly gaslighting Simu about valid concerns over cultural appropriation. Your attitude and aggression towards his concerns rather than trying to listen and understand what he was trying to say. How can this boba company say that they can take something that is culturally Asian and say they can make it better? And you're defending them that they may not know better is BS because how do you not do thorough research on a product before you start a business? This apology feels like you missed the whole point. And I definitely really agree. Emma writes, the mistake wasn't just the investment. It was that you shut him down when he was educating you. You gaslight him and did it with a smirk. And Jenny says, translation, the business appears to no longer be lucrative, so I will not be investing anymore. I do not see the cultural appropriation everyone is mentioning, but here is a script. Please leave me alone, end quote. And that is actually exactly the vibe that I'm getting. The Boba also made an apology. Let me find the apology. Wait, did they delete their account? Wait a second here. So here's their page. Okay, the Boba official. Again, don't send hate, bro. That's just a waste of time. Dear valued customers and public, we are very sorry for our delayed response. We needed some time to do our due diligence and fully understand the gravity of this situation. First and foremost, we want to deeply apologize for the harm we have caused by our words and actions on the show. While it was never our intention to cause harm or disrespect, I think they mean to say to the community that created and popularized this beloved drink. We take full responsibility for the impact of our actions. Simu Liu raised very valid points regarding cultural appropriation, and we welcome this learning opportunity. We fully understand the backlash over our feature on Dragon's Den based on what people saw on TV. When we said, quote, you're never quite sure about its contents, end quote, we were not referring to the traditional bubble tea formula found in specialized shop, nor were we criticizing it. We can appreciate that this wasn't communicated effectively in the episode as English is our second language, but we were comparing it to the other ready-to-drink products like ours found in big box stores. On the show, we were presenting our newest boba formula, which hasn't been released everywhere yet. In this version, we've removed all artificial coloring, flavoring, and preservatives while maintaining a lower sugar content. This is what we were referring to when we mentioned a healthier option on the show. I have to say, I am definitely sympathetic towards English not being their first language, right? I am bilingual myself. English technically is actually not my first language. If you do it in the order of languages I've learned, English is my primary language, right? Mandarin is actually, well, Shanghainese is a dialect, but it technically is the first language I've learned. So I could, like, obviously, if I were to try to present something in Mandarin, it might come off a little bit more scuffed than English, right? Because it's not my primary language. But I also will say, I can't lend that much forgiveness because you are going on a TV show. I am sure you must have rehearsed the words you were going to say. Of course, some stuff is said on the spot, but not all of it. So I can't be that forgiving because the statement, you're never quite sure about the contents, was in the original pitch. Like that was one of the first things they said when they came on the show. So that part must have at least been rehearsed. Regarding the cultural significance and origins of bubble tea, we know our choice of words was misguided and understand people's reactions. What we were trying to do is celebrate that many other cultures are now enjoying this wonderful drink. Our choice of words was wrong when trying to explain our point, and for that, we are extremely sorry. We never claimed that boba is new. What we explained during the show is that we have produced a different way to package it with a ready-to-go drink glass bottle that minimizes the environmental impact. Our Taiwanese partners were heavily involved in the research and development of this product, which we believe helped us achieve such early success. At no point do we mean to insinuate that our boba bubble tea is better than the traditional bubble tea in any way. Here's the thing though, intent and execution are two different things, and at the end of the day, when it comes to things that you say, I can't judge you based on your intent. I can't judge you on the things you meant to say. I can only judge you on the things you actually did say. And from the words that came out of your mouth, albeit we need to add the context that English is their second language, the words didn't come out too great. You know, we made it less ethnic, we made it less Asian, and insinuating you don't know the ingredients, even if potentially you didn't intend it that way, it comes off really, really badly. And I would just have to say that you are not ready to pitch a product on a show like this if you can't even get your pitch correct. You've been doing business for 2 years, you've done millions and millions on sales, whatever. You couldn't get a pitch correct. correct? Like, I'm sure this was not the first pitch you've done at this point. Despite our intentions, we take responsibility and are accountable for the impact that this has had. It is clear to us that we should have called upon the expertise of our Taiwanese partners to shape the ways in which we give credit to the cultural roots of bubble tea and ensure cultural integrity by properly acknowledging its origins in Taiwanese culture. We will reevaluate our branding, packaging, and marketing strategies to ensure that they reflect a respectful and accurate representation of our Taiwanese partnership and bubble tea's cultural roots. I swear to God, if they replace the raccoon with sunglasses with a panda with sunglasses, that's going to be my 13th reason, okay? I swear to God. I think the main issue is the core foundation of their company not rooted in cultural sensitivity. So due to that, it's not going to go well. Okay, the next page of Boba Tea's apology, they write, "We will also commit to further learning about the impacts of cultural appropriation to ensure we are equipped with the skills to effectively work cross-culturally. We are confident that if we continue to engage in open dialogue with our partners, community leaders, and stakeholders, we will prevent this from happening again in the future. We understand that actions speak louder than words, and as such, we are committed to taking these necessary steps to ensure our future decisions reflect our values and the deep level of respect we have for Taiwanese culture. This has been a valuable learning experience for all of us, and we understand people's negative reactions, but we feel the hate speech and death threats are absolutely uncalled for and need to stop. We truly hope that people give us a chance to set things right and show you that we can do better. Please, Sebastian and Jessica." Man, oh man. Again, yeah, they've been doing this for 2 years. So how have you been making boba for 2 years? I completely missed the cultural mark. Ren Anglo writing, "So they had Taiwanese partners and intended to release this product without crediting them? Sounds historical. I'm dead." Alyssa Bautista says it's giving ChatGPT apology. Willie Sue writes the quote, "Sorry, I got caught," end quote apology. "For claiming you don't have a good grasp of English language, this post sounds very much disingenuous. Feels like you might have kicked the task to the PR team. A video apology like Manjit would have done much better to help your cause. Just saying, LOL." And Kevins writes, "What happened to, quote, not ethnical product anymore," end quote. Quote, "Make it better. We don't know what's in its contents. I don't see a language barrier. It's just typical arrogance and ignorance." Burkawi, "The eye rolls from Jessica were really amazing. And no, many of us speak multiple languages, so please stop pretending like you don't know how you sounded saying any of that." We have Fufu Express writing, "You said you removed all, quote, artificial coloring," end quote, in your drink. Your ingredients for peaches literally says Yellow Sunset FCF, Yellow 6. Ingredients for strawberries is Allura Red, Red 40. Why are you denying having artificial colors? Tell me you have no Asian friends without telling me you have no Asian friends. Let's just look at the marketing. Let's just look at the photos. Again, we don't know the ethnicity of the people's hands. We can't tell. Okay, they have a yoga temple or something. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just not a single Asian person. Like, not even one. A lot of dogs, though. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. Oh, finally, wait. I found my first potential East Asian person. I'm just mentioning something that I noticed. Yeah, they keep emphasizing these Taiwanese partners, but I haven't seen a single fucking Taiwanese person on their post, except for potentially one person. I can't tell, right? I don't know for certain. That's again, I don't know, like me starting a taco business, but there's not a single Hispanic person, not a single Latinx person whatsoever in my production process or in any of my marketing products. It's all just Asian people. That would be pretty bad, okay? So it gives that level of like, tell me you have no Asian friends without telling me you have no Asian friends. So I'm curious as to your thoughts. Throwing in my 2 cents. I am a Chinese person. I grew up drinking boba. I've drank boba for the last 14 years. I get it every single day. I am very picky about my boba because I have had really good boba and really shit boba. I would never try this because, yeah, this is giving fruit juice plus balls in it. That is not what I look for when it comes to boba. I want high quality teas that take a lot of care in the brewing. I'm very peculiar about my teas that go into my drinks. And I like high quality balls. This is fruit juice and popping pearls. This is not what somebody who is looking for boba is looking for. You don't necessarily need to have Asian friends or whatever to make boba yourself. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying be respectful. Just a little bit of cultural respect can go a long way. So yeah, I'm curious about your thoughts on this scenario. As boy, oh boy. They removed artificial coloring with their ingredients, says it does, shows contradictions at what they stand for. Exactly. Wait, let me just look up boba's ingredients. Yeah, what the hell is Yellow Sunset FCF, huh? Please explain to me what that is. The mango lemonade also has Yellow Sunset FCF. Dragon fruit has Allura Red, which is Red 40. Also Allura Red. Brilliant Blue FCF. I imagine this is another artificial coloring. So somebody's lying because, wow, Allura Red is really high up on the ingredients list for their energizing raspberry. And yeah, if we go to Google, it says Allura Red AC, also known as E129 or FD&C Red 40, is a synthetic water-soluble dark red dye that is commonly used in food, drugs, and cosmetics. So yeah, Sunset Yellow FCF is used as orange or yellow-orange dye. I'm guessing Brilliant Blue is another food dye or food coloring as well. So what do you mean we got rid of the artificial coloring, but every single one of your ingredients has it? I don't know, just a lot of hypocrisies, a lot of controversies in here. I'm not buying it for 1 second, guys.